Can you talk about Jaxson Dart? You predicted he would go to BYU. No, I did not predict he'd go to
Actually, no, we
BYU.
didn't.
What I
No.
said was, I took a lot of heat for it. I told you that as soon as he was in the portal, BYU was on that. And they were talking to Jaxson Dart. So here's what happened with Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart enrolled at Ole Miss yesterday. He is now officially, and I looked at it, he is officially a student at Ole Miss. He's going to Ole Miss. And essentially, BYU, the minute he went in the portal, BYU was on it. They were in constant contact with him. Kalani has a good relationship with them, with Jackson and his family. Jaxson Dart was all in on talking to BYU. But when you're going up against a guy like Lane Kiffin, the truth of the matter is Lane Kiffin ran an anti-BYU campaign in that he told Jaxson Dart, hey, you're going to go to the Big 12 and struggle, which is true. Jaxson Dart would have been the starting quarterback for BYU going to the Big 12, and you're going to struggle. They're going to lose a lot of games early on in the Big 12. It's the reality.
Learning curve, bro.
Yeah, it's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
What Lane Kiffin sold Jaxson Dart on was playing a massive football game of consequence every single week. Play in front of huge crowds, play on national TV, come with me to Oxford, Mississippi, and let's compete at the top of the SEC.
Yeah.
Because there's no better way, whether you agree or disagree, and I actually disagree, Lane, but there's no better way to get into the NFL and be an important player than to win at the top of the SEC. So I got news for you. My opinion is that you can come to BYU and be drafted highly as a quarterback. But the issue is you're not going to play in huge games at BYU every week. That's just the bold-faced truth.
Yeah.
When you go to Ole Miss and you have the success that Lane Kiffin is having at Ole Miss, you're going to play in big games every single week.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it in the SEC. And you're going to go to Alabama, and you're going to go to Georgia. You're going to go to Florida.
And I think that's the difference.
You're going to play in a massive rivalry that's just a notch below Utah BYU. But Mississippi and Ole Miss, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, that's a rivalry. And it's tough to tell a kid like Jaxson Dart, who went to USC to be a legend. Jaxson Dart cares about being a really good football player.
Yeah.
That's a high-character kid. Jaxson Dart is a very good football player. And Jaxson Dart's going to be the starting quarterback at Ole Miss. And I think that's the other thing. Jaxson Dart would have had to earn a job at BYU. Well, he is the presumed starter at Ole Miss on a team that's going to play in an awful lot of big games. And he's got a huge personality as a coach that's nationally prominent in Lane Kiffin. There's not a lot to not like about Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jaxson Dart would have flourished at BYU. I think he would have been the starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to fault the kid for the choice he made.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest about it. It's hard to fault him. I think BYU's biggest issue is you have an injury-prone quarterback now in Jaron Hall. You've lost Baylor Romney to the portal, and I'm not convinced that Baylor Romney is going to play big-time football again. But I think when you look at least, and if he transferred somewhere, I haven't heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologize if I missed that, but I don't think he has. But I look at Jacob Conover. Jacob Conover now becomes a very important figure in BYU football because you don't have the fallback veteran this time, right? Like if Jaxson Dart had gone to BYU, he's probably the starter. Jaron's the number 2. Mm-hmm. One of those two guys is going to get hurt. You probably need 3 quarterbacks to get through a season at BYU's level, right? Because you're not going to have elite offensive line play.
Yep.
So your quarterback's going to take some. And quarterbacks around college football get hurt. Football is a very painful sport. I do not fault Jaxson Dart one single bit.
Yeah.
He did what he thought was best for him. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. By the way, this isn't about an NIL thing. Somebody tweeted at me last night that he went to Ole Miss because, they're going to put money in his pockets. Dude, the day of the bag man, the day of the booster with $1 million, fund, you don't need that anymore. You have name, image, likeness now.
Yeah.
It's not about that anymore. To me, if you're Jaxson Dart, you're going to get paid. The guy is beautiful. He's a good-looking dude. He is a nice kid.
That eye black looks really good.
You know the thing that really annoys me? Where has Utah been on Jaxson Dart?
That's what I'm.
This is the second time.
Like, bruh.
I
just said that earlier in the week. Like,
I know. I thought that was a good point by you.
It's amazing to me that Utah never is in these conversations ever. It's just, I don't know, man. I have no idea.
You guys have no sources. Shut up.
Yeah, sure. We don't have any sources. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, sure, man.
Fat Jesus says Monty the hero Salt Lake City deserves, but not the one it needs right now. Probably true.
Yeah.
Brylark said again, when was the last time a player complained to an official and the official was like, oh, hey, yeah, you're right. I'll change the call. Never.
Yeah, but here's the difference. The guys who have a relationship with the official, they get the no call they need. They get the call they need. They
get that
later
fourth
in the game,
quarter, last 5-minute whistle that a lot of hey, look, you're a casual.
You're a casual.
Rudy Gobert should get calls that Nurkic, that Cousins, that any other
Jokic
is getting calls. He's a superstar in this league. He's an MVP. Nikola Jokic is getting calls.
Yeah, man. He's
getting calls that Rudy Gobert is not. I mean, that's the facts. Alex says, announce Marcus Smart to the Jazz. I wish I could. MGTV says, do you think Donovan would really want to leave? I do. Yeah, I do.
I think before his career's over, he'll be a Knick.
Jeremy
eventually.
Bolton says, I'll start another local radio station with you guys. We'll call it, hey, guys.
You're a casual.
Tanner Plummer Radio. Fat Jesus has always fire comments, Brylark says. He does. He's amazing. Fat Jesus is one of our favorite listeners. Wow, what happened here? James Knight, don't you think the All-Star game is meaningless? All it does is not allow top players to get much needed rest. It's a huge thing for fandom, though. The All-Star game is not about the player, it's about the fan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is, it is really enjoyable. Juan Barraco says, I'm a reporter from Uruguay. I also cover the Jazz for Latin America, not professionally on TV. Hundreds of fans have that wants to know what's up. Don't know that language. Wanted to do something cool.
That's
good
awesome,
for you,
bro.
Juan.
Yeah, that's awesome,
good for you, dude. Look at the difference of why Conley didn't get a tech and Booker did for the same thing. Truth.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Because Mike Conley is a more polished communicator with the officials. And Devin Booker plays with a lot of emotion. That's one of the things I don't like about Devin. He flops. And I think he is a guy that, review it.
He can still be had a little bit.
Yes, he can. Dane says, look at the difference. Or no, I just read that. My bad. Tanner Plummer says, hey, guys, radio. I like it.
Never.
Gavin, Dale, do you think we could get Harrison Barnes at the deadline for Joe, JC, and a pick? But here's
which pick?
Here's what I say. And by the way, there's no finer NBA reporter than Sam Amick. The guy is money. Good human being, good people, and a really good reporter.
Yeah.
Who linked Harrison Barnes to the Jazz. I don't know how you go and do that for a $20 million player because there's no value in it for the Kings. So what's the missing piece to that trade that we don't know about? Yes, I think the Jazz could end up with Harrison Barnes. I don't know how that would happen. The Jazz can end up with Jesus Christ. I'm not really sure what draft picks they're going to have to give to Mother Nature to get him.
God bless.
I don't know what that looks like for Harrison Barnes to come to the Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the Jazz can do it head-to-head. I don't. And the guy I talked to at the Jazz last night did say that they are essentially working the phones every hour of every day. They are really trying to infuse energy and culture into this organization.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, one of the things that Ryan Smith is big about is building a championship culture and then filling players in on the roster that fit that culture.
I wonder
And
what that looks like in his opinion.
I think what it looks like is guys that value each other and value the team.
Yeah.
And, this narrative, one of the things I'm worn out on is nobody wants to play in Salt Lake City. It doesn't matter what they want to do. When they get here, there's not a guy who's like, this sucks, I'm out. How many guys have ever said that? And by the way, you've never had Ryan Smith as an owner. The guy is absolutely a player's owner.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
All right. A couple other things I want to get to because, wow, it is already 36 past the hour. Here on the Monty Show, hit subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, please, right now. Hit like on the YouTube channel if you're listening. By the way, God bless you for listening on Spotify. We have had more Spotify listens this week than we have ever had before on the podcast. Thank you so much. Our number one audio podcast outlets by far are Apple and now Spotify. Stitcher Radio, peace, bro. I love you guys on Stitcher. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I should say thank you so much for listening to the show and watching the show on YouTube. I mean, it makes a huge difference to us. If I'm being totally honest, we don't make money on the show at all. Mainly because we have like over $1,000 in game consoles that we're giving away. So buying shirts from us, clicking like, subscribing to the channel, all of that makes a huge difference to us. So thank you so much for listening on the audio podcast. It really is. It really makes a difference to us. So thank you. So please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We're going to give away this Xbox Series X when we get to 3,000 subs on the old YouTube machine.
I want you to listen to me.
Listen to me right now. 2932. So 68.
Damn.
Yeah, 68
Bro,
subs to go.
We might be giving this thing away Monday.
Yeah,
This keeps
68
up.
subs to go. Appreciate that. No one wants to play in Salt Lake. Well, no one wants to play here now after look at the shit show that the Utah Jazz are now. That could change, though, Tanner says.
Yeah.
Let's talk about women in sports real quick. I want to talk about this Mina Kimes, Jeff Garcia thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't see it, Jeff Garcia, the former quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers,
Mm-hmm.
savaged Mina Kimes yesterday on Twitter because Mina Kimes went on, I believe it was First Take, and said that the San Francisco 49ers are winning in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. And that, essentially he is not the reason they are winning games.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I agree with her. I think Jimmy Garoppolo has played well enough not to lose games. But he has had, how many interceptions did the Rams drop on him to just get them into the playoffs? I'm not saying he's played awful football. He certainly has not been the reason they've won, in my opinion. She says that on ESPN. And Jeff Garcia goes on Twitter and says, who the hell is Mina Kimes? And when is the last time she threw a touchdown pass in a game? Never, ever, Jeff Garcia continued. Has she taken a snap or can truly understand the ability, the mindset, the physical and mental toughness that it takes to play QB position or any position in the NFL? By the way, why does it matter if she played in the NFL? Did Stephen A. Smith ever play in the NBA? Are you kidding me? Why does it matter that she didn't play in the NFL? She's paid to have an opinion on the NFL.
How many male commentators have never played in the NFL?
A ton.
Right? I've never played in the NFL.
A ton. And it's amazing to me. I just don't understand why it matters that Mina Kimes didn't play. Is Jeff Garcia ripping her because she's a woman?
I think that's low-key part of it, yeah. But I think Jeff is just being irresponsible. I think, and today's show is a good example, right? I mean, I think there's a line that you walk up to when you're talking about other people, and I think it really depends on the situation. Like, Mina Kimes never talked about Jeff, right? So Jeff is just going out and talking about her for whatever reason. I don't know if it makes him feel better or like, I don't know. Because it's it is a very aggressive and strong and out there take. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, I just want to ask, like, okay, do you feel better? Like, does that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of benefit to him saying that, And I don't know, man. I was just surprised by this whole thing. I think Mina, for the record, does great work. I would agree. I think, number one, I think ESPN's done a phenomenal job since the Maria Taylor stuff, getting female talent and diversifying what they put on TV, and like they've worked really hard to do that. And I think Mina's been part of that. And I think that Mina works her ass off just as her male colleagues do to provide good content and come with a great take.
But understand that Jeff Garcia was a journeyman quarterback. I mean, he's not a guy. Sure, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler, But Jeff Garcia never won a Super Bowl. He never won an MVP.
But the take of, hey, somebody didn't play sports, so they don't know, is a tired take. I mean, that's
very tired
dude,
take.
that thing has been, how many people have said that and look like idiots? So yeah, to answer your question directly, I can't definitively say that's why he said it, because she was a woman. But I do think when you go out and do things like this, it is a bad look. It does make it look like you're just a hater because she is a woman, and because she is young, and because she is a good-looking person, and because she is really good at what she does. Like,
the point is, I don't really. I don't know, maybe when I'm the lucky ones. I don't really care what she looks like. I agree with her. She's got a good opinion.
But I think it matters. When you look at a reporter, this is like the Erin Andrews thing. Part of the reason that Erin Andrews is so successful is because she looks really professional, she sounds really professional, and she delivers quality information in a professional way. That's the reality of the situation. You're not going to watch a news telecast with someone who's dressed like a slob and looks terrible. You're not going to do it. You're
It's
going to be
uncomfortable.
thinking,
I agree.
You're going to be thinking, what the hell is this person wearing? You know, what's going on here? So it's not to say that Mina only has her job because she's a good-looking woman. Not at all. She's good at what she does. But I think there definitely is that side of TV. Hey, you got to look good. You got to play that part.
I agree. Whether you're a male or a female, you need to look good to be on TV. I mean, unless you're an athlete and you can be a slovenly looking fool. But I think in general, you have to be a better looking human being to be on TV. There's no doubt, which is why I was always on radio.
Right, yeah.
But my point is, I do think that Jeff Garcia attacked Mina Kimes because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, is he going after Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith or any of these other fools that are out there saying outlandish things that have no basis in
Max
fact?
Kellerman.
How come he's not going after those guys? Because they'll go right back after him. Which, by the way, Mina Kimes kind of, I think has handled it really well. I don't understand. This has nothing to do with the fact that Mina Kimes, in my opinion, is a woman. I think it is, for Jeff Garcia, I think it's all about her being a woman. I have no issue with it. Mm-hmm. I agree with her. Mm-hmm. And I think what this is another example of Jeff Garcia going after somebody who doesn't share his opinion. And if you don't share his opinion, your opinion is wrong. And you're always going to be wrong. And it again galls me that we in this society can't have a fair exchange of opinions unless you agree with us.
Yeah.
Whether it's voting rights, whether it's vaccines, whether it's masks, whatever it is. Oh, you disagree with me? Okay, you're an idiot.
You're a hack.
Right? Exactly. And it just is...
You're a casual.
It's absolutely separating. Yeah, you're a casual. It's absolutely separating us. And it to me, it's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mirzinski, good morning to you, buddy. He says, who cares if a woman is a sports industry? They already have a tough job, especially in an industry where they're in the minority. Being a woman on ESPN is one of the most difficult day-to-day jobs, I think, because you are constantly questioned just because you have boobs and a vagina.
And that's not just by males.
It is.
Look no further than Rachel Nichols.
It's really unfortunate. And I just don't know that we'll ever get past it.
Yeah. Jeff
Garcia was 2-4 in the playoffs with a 73 rating. He's Jimmy G without the wins. No wonder Mina Kimes hurt his feelings, Giggity says. I agree with that. Cody Strickland says, I get a lot of shit for saying Holly is annoying and gets lost a lot when speaking. Has nothing to do with her being a woman. I miss KK and wish she was still doing the casting. Yeah. I don't mind Holly Rowe. A lot of people don't enjoy her.
Well,
on the Jazz broadcast.
It's two different things, though. This is two different things. Let's be very clear about this. Saying that, like, Holly Rowe's a great example. I'm glad this got brought up. Saying that you don't enjoy somebody, like, in how they deliver their content, like how they talk about it and what they're saying, that's very different than going on the record and being like, oh, well, you never played in the NFL, so how could you have any opinion? That's a totally...
Yes.
That's two separate things. Like,
totally.
Like, I can respectfully